What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Blue Water Life. So today I'm going to show you guys how to install probably one of the most broken down pieces, parts on your boat, and that is the freshwater or saltwater pump. So today my boat calls for a Jabsco. This is a Parmax HD4 freshwater pump. It's used for saltwater as well. They're the exact same thing. Shurflo, they all kind of install the same exact way. So we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to show you guys what you need to do this replacement. So a couple things: flathead screwdriver, a couple zip ties. I use some electrical pliers here, a lighter, and you're going to want some. These are really important, waterproof butt splices, and you're going to melt these on. So we're going to jump in the boat. I'm going to take out the old one, show you guys how to do that, and then we'll install this new Jabsco. So we'll see you on the boat. First things first, I always unplug the boat if it is plugged in. Some people will disconnect the batteries. I'm not going to disconnect the batteries for this. I'm going to just make sure the boat's in the off position, so there's no power going to this. But I have my pump right there. This is the freshwater, this is the saltwater. As you guys can see, they're the exact same pumps. So let's take this thing off. First things first, I am gonna remove the hoses here. So if you guys can see on the bottom down here, there's two blue kind of pieces we're just gonna pull out. You see the pumps come right off there. Water's coming out. We're gonna disconnect both sides. All you gotta do is pull them down and they'll release. That water smells awful. And then we got both sides off. Oh, see the filter right there? It's nasty. All right, so we're gonna take off these 4 bolts. So if you have a screwdriver, you can take those right off there. All right, so there's 4 bolts that kind of hold this thing in. Right there, see them? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. Make sure to save the bolts. Don't lose those babies. And then now this thing is just connected. If you guys can see up here, it is crimped on here with a little wire nut. Crimped on here with a little wire sleeve. So we're gonna cut this. We're gonna take it out. And we're gonna replace it. So I'm gonna leave the original sleeve on here. I mean, some people may say it's the wrong thing to do, but we're gonna cut it down here just to make it a little bit easier for us. Right, there you go. Prepare the wires. All we're gonna do is we're gonna strip the sleeve a bit here, just enough to get through. All right, we're good to go. So, all right, so now we got our pump. It's always fun, it's always super tight. So now we got our pump. What they send you in here are a couple other attachments for your hoses if you need them. You got a new filtering system. Oops, drop that one. A new filter on one side, and then check this out. You got your pump. There it is. All right. Get that out of here. You guys can see, really, really easy. Same exact hookup, same setup, all that good stuff. So we're gonna install the pump back in its place. Should just fit in the same holes. Let's double check and make sure here. Yep, we're gonna fit in the exact same holes. Already there. So, there we go. All right, let's install this baby back up there. Okay, there's one. Pump all installed. I just put back in the hoses here. Should fit right back in these holes. All right, we're good. And now we just got to do the wire. It's super simple wiring. You got your black to your black and your red to your red. You got a lot of extra here. The black is fine. I'm going to cut this red down though. So there's no need to have all of this. So I'm gonna just cut this wire off. We don't need that. And then we'll strip this down a bit here. All right, well, did before, just spin it, tighten it up. We're good there. What you're gonna do is crimp your ends. This is a little bit thinner of a gauge. You know, it says right on the wire what gauge you need and what crimp ends. I think this was a 14 gauge. They didn't have any of the waterproof there, so this is a 16. It'll work. So I'm going to put this down a hair. All right, so I didn't include this tool in the description here, but you're going to want a crimper of some sort. You could use a pair of pliers too. I'm just using, this is a pair of crimpers that I use for creating jigs and stuff. So I'm just going to crimp this wire in there so it's nice tight on that side, and then I'm going to crimp it on the other side up here. Hopefully you guys can see it up in the top. All right, so I'm going to crimp it up here as well on the other side. Nice and tight in there. Oops, missed that one. Wire pulled. Right. Okay. There we go. That one looks pretty good. Let's do the other side. Just take this side here, slide it in, get the crimper out. All right, and then let's take our black, put it in there, and then we'll crimp the other side. All right, these should be pretty snug. I mean, they could still pull out, you know, if you didn't put enough pressure on them. But the key here now is that we're gonna melt these onto here. All right. So you're just going to use a lighter, and I'm going to slowly, you'll see the plastic almost melt. Just don't overdo it because you don't want it to go through, but it should shrink up kind of right to your wire there. I just keep moving it back and forth, you know, so you don't want to burn through your wire. There you guys can see. Make sure you don't burn anything else in your boat either. It's pretty tight there. Double check. Nope, not yet. See, there's a little gap. Sometimes, you know, that extra gauge is going to make it a little bit harder for that wire to sit down in there. You know, but should be pretty solid right there. Just check the other side here. All right, that one's done. Let's do that next one. Okay, shrinking. Shrinking. If you hold it on one spot, you're just gonna burn the rubber. So I just try to move it back and forth, top, bottom, different sides. Heat up that plastic so it shrink, melts right on there. Make sure you don't burn other shit in your boat. But all right, there we go. Get the ends real good. Shrinked on there. Shrinked on there. Should be good there. Melted on. All right. We look like it's good. So at this point, all right, I'm gonna take these wires here, and I use the zip tie. I'm just clean them up a bit so they're not all over the place. You can wrap these in electrical tape if you want as well. It's up to you. I don't really see the need for it. If you did a good job, wrapping it there. So we're just gonna slap a couple zip ties on here. Hold these wires in place. All right, because they're already held up in the top up there, so really no point. This is an overkill zip tie. Have one more here somewhere. You do not need zip ties this large, but yeah. So there you go. Let's do one more here. Let's make sure these are all tight in there. If you want this really clean, you could really clean it up, but I mean, it's not going nowhere. So, okay. All right, there we go. And that's how you replace Jabsco or Shurflo pump. Really, really easy. Make sure these connections are good. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn on the boat and test and make sure it works. So now I usually just bring it out in the water real quick and make sure the hose is working. So I don't have my hose hooked up to the salt wash, but you can see that thing is pumping nice. I still got it on the freshwater side, but I mean, typically because I'm not doing like overnight trips or anything, I don't carry much freshwater or any freshwater at all on the boat. I'll clear the tanks because there's no need, to have it and hold that extra weight and pay for that gas. So we got the salt water fixed. If you guys have any questions on how to fix anything on the boat, I'm doing a whole mechanics corner. I got a 300-hour video, a bunch of other stuff, 100 hours coming up on these Mercury Verada 300s too, so you're gonna see that one soon. But like always, guys, I appreciate the likes, the comments, and the subscribers. So thanks so much for watching, guys. This is Blue Water Life.